Of all Afghanistan's peace initiatives currently in play, the newly formed Peace Council is the most high profile. At the first session, President Karzai said he had no right to speak, as the council is supposed to be independent, but he did pick all 70 members, including former warlords, religious clerics and former Taliban. The head of the council said on Thursday they believed senior Taliban figures were prepared to talk, but they didn't expect the leaders to come to Kabul.
Can you tell us how senior these members of the Taliban are? Are we talking leadership from Pakistan? Are we talking local people who are still in Afghanistan?
There's no doubt the movement of the Taliban leadership and discussion with them is hard, but we shouldn't wait. Even if they cannot come to Afghanistan directly, they can send their representatives. Some Taliban members have already entered into talks during their travels to other countries.
NATO has promised to help the progress of peace talks, with reports that it was providing safe passage to Taliban members who wanted to come to Kabul to talk peace. The president himself this week admitted to having face-to-face talks with senior Taliban members at an undisclosed location, a private attempt to break down the barriers.
I have had personally meetings with some Taliban leaders. My colleagues in the government have had meetings with the Taliban, both in Afghanistan and outside of Afghanistan. But those contacts have been more countryman to countryman type of talks, unofficial, and contacts that sometimes they initiated, sometimes we initiated.
Behind the scenes, many more initiatives are being set up. A conference was held in central Kabul hotel a week ago. A delegation of Pakistani and Afghan politicians met a former Taliban ambassador. Also on hand, 2 former ISI chiefs. Talks that don't have the blessing of Pakistan intelligence are doomed to failure. Another conference is planned for next week in the Maldives. The official line from the group everyone wants to talk to is still that the Taliban will never accept negotiations or a ceasefire with the invading enemy. To admit to opening up a dialogue would be to admit they are ready for a political end to the war. But there's nothing to say they're not talking about talking. Sue Turton, Al Jazeera, Kabul.